I mean, if I really wanted to have what she would consider nighttime, which is daytime, where she would probably have to go to bed, I could just screw up my schedule. I'll find some other work, so I would be able to sleep with Jane and cuddle and be happy. And yeah, I would probably do that then. I actually didn't think about that. That's an easy workaround. Yeah, just find a job that has the same hours when she's out working, and boom, more time to spend with her. Not gonna lie, I would either date Caesar, Porker, Ambi, Miyabi, Evelyn, and Sion if she would be open to it. I like how you're like, I would either, normally it's like, I would either date this person or this person. But now it's just like, nah, you know what, I'm gonna date everyone. That was a lot of people down. Would I date any of those? I mean, I could see myself at least try wanting to date Evelyn. I could see that, considering she's kind of similar in the workspace. Or not the workspace. Well, can you? I think you could kinda compare Evelyn to Jane, because like even though Jane is not like she's not, well, she is technically a spy. She's just called an info broker instead, and she works for one company and the government, whereas Evelyn works for multiple people. She's just good at doing her job, which is like assassinating or spying on people. Now when I think about it, all the good women I want to date are like the scary or like dangerous ones in Zenless. The number one I would date, obviously Jane. The second one I would date is actually Trigger. I'm not gonna lie, the second one I would date is Trigger, because, dude, I was crying non-stop when I saw the ending of Trigger's story. I had so many tears down my face. Trigger and her story, when you reach the end of her story and you hear all the dialogue and stuff, I was crying. It was such a sad ending. And the thing is what, it wasn't even a cutscene. It was just like dialogue with a little bit of voiceover. That was it. Honestly, Trigger is such a wholesome person. I know, like, she has cake, okay, and nice thigh physics and all that, but like, even if you just ignore that, I love how kind and sweet of a person she is, and she's also good with kids. It was even shown in her character trailer. It's just kind of funny. Not that I want kids, but like, if I ever were to, I would definitely. I have no trouble with Trigger. The thing that although, here's the thing I will say that I disagree with. Some people in the Zenless Zero community say that Trigger is estimated to be 30. And I'm just like, dude, she does not look like someone who's 30 at all. She looks like someone who's in their early 20s. Jane looks older than Trigger. And Jane just looks like she's in her mid-20s. Trigger does not look like she's in her 30s. What? The only way where it would make sense is because, again, she's worked in the military, and that's like a lot, you know. I would say, yeah, 22, 23, that's what I would guess that Trigger is. And if I had to guess Jane, I would say that she is perfectly, in my head, 25. Maybe 26, but that's it. 25, 26, that's what Jane looks like to me, like age-wise. One character that looks like she could be in her 30s, maybe even 40s, is Xiu Yang. She looks like she could be at the end of her 30s. I'm just glad we don't actually know the ages of the characters, and they're just like kind of keeping them secret. But sometimes I just wish I knew what Jane's age is, because for someone like me, I'm 25, it would be a nice fantasy in my head to be like, she's also in her mid-20s. So like, realistically, it would make sense to date someone who is in that close age range. Just like many girls have this thing where like, which also makes sense, where girls want to date guys who are like at least 2 or maybe 3 years older than them, because guys are mentally younger than their physical age, or most guys are. That's not to say that doesn't exist girls who date guys who are the same age as them, or maybe even an age lower than them. But I do get why they would think like that, because it makes sense. Girls are more faster developed in the brain than guys are in an early age. Oh, I'm right now. I'm just imagining right now, coming home from work, Jane laying down in a sofa with a big oversized hoodie and walking over to me, welcoming me in arms, giving me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek and saying welcome home. Bro, I am in love. That would be so nice. I'm just thinking of like the small nice things she could do like that. Just something small and nice. Like, oh my god, bro, I might be in love with a fictional character. Oh man. Yeah, girls like Jane, they don't exist in real life. And if they do, they'd be hella toxic. Because it's always like, the prettiest girls, the most smexy ass girls, are always the girls that end up having the most like toxic personality, or just rude, or like absolutely psycho crazy.